Hi everyone, it's Angela here from Stampin' Beauty in Christchurch, New Zealand. Hope you're well and you've had a good week and a good day. I've just want to showcase this just to say I've got a class I'm doing online on Saturday the 5th of April. It'll be here on my normal Facebook page. So it's free to anybody if you want to come along, watch, make along with me. But if you would like the PDF that's got all the instructions and all the measurements, that's $10 New Zealand. And also I do have a kit or two left, so if you wanted a kit, you live in New Zealand, I can pop that in the post. That's $25 plus postage, so I'll pop the links. So you get for the kit, you get the card kits 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then product you get some ribbon, some baker's twine, some embellishments and the papers to make, and the cards and envelopes, so everything you need. So if you're keen, yeah, I'll pop the links up, but if not, just come along anyway. But the more the merrier. We can just make cards together. So that is the 5th of April. It's 1 PM New Zealand time, so I'm not sure what that time is. It varies wherever you are in the world. So tonight I'm going to use this new set, which is in the Impressions Abloom, and I got that when I was in Brisbane recently. And these are some of the dies, not all of them, because I've got some out because I'm going to use them tonight, but they're super cute. They've got these lovely little frames, and they've got, so these are some of the other dies that go around these here, so I'm going to be using those tonight. So and that's this is an online exclusive that's coming up, so really pretty. So when I was looking at this thinking what am I going to do with it, I saw I always screenshot any cards I like. I screenshot. I was going through my gallery and found one of Martin Stone, so I thought, yay, I'm going to have a wee case of his this week. So using that, got some bits and pieces here. So I'm going to use boho blue cardstock, which is one of my favourites, and it's a it's going to be a retiring in colour, so I need to make the most of it while it's still here. So I'll just put that out of the way. So this, you know, I'm doing this in metric, but it wouldn't really matter if you're doing this in inches. Just use the same, you know, use your card base, and then I'm going to use a layering panel. So whatever works size-wise on your imperial size. And then, of course, all the flowers won't matter. So just bring in this, and I'm going to use the Forever Plaid, which I really like as a background. It's just fairly neutral. I'll just put it down just a little bit. It doesn't really have to be too, just like it to be a bit straight. Right, tuck that in. Just run that through. Yeah, it's not, it's sort of, it can be, you know, it's sort of a neutral, isn't it? It's not masculine or feminine, really, just, which is good. Probably erring more on masculinity if you were going to go that way, but rather than a floral. But so I've got that, and then what I'm going to do is I've got some twine, and I'm going to wrap, or linen thread rather than twine, just wrap that round, sort of just above the middle. I'm going to put that round 3 times. Actually, I think I might have start that again, not leave so much, just to get enough to get a really nice length of bow, and more towards the left. Let's pop that. I'm going to tuck flowers in and around it anyway, but it's just easier to get that there now. Just got to be careful too when you're doing that, not to pull it too tightly. Right, so I can faff with that later, but that's on anyway. That's a good start. Oh, hi Nicole, thanks for coming along. Nice to have you here. Hope you've had a good week. Doesn't feel ages since we were in Brisbane. Gosh, the time just goes so quickly. Right, so that's done. Right, next I'm going to start stamping some flowers. I am going to, and this is something Mark does a lot of, so he'll stamp using, so I'm using, this is hard to see, lemon lolly, and I'm going to use it on the actual lemon lolly cardstock. And so that means you don't get that whiteness around the edge, you get a nice, you get the lemon lolly around the edge. So there's that one. I have to clean that because I want to use that again, and do that here again. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to just redo that. Actually, I think that just looks a little bit dirty. Just didn't look as. Let's give those a bit of a. Maybe I hadn't properly cleaned them, which is a no-no, isn't it? Just give that a bit of a spruce up. Sometimes you can, when you get interrupted, things get forgotten. Right, try that again. Yes, they have gone quickly. Right, so we'll do that again. Got a black dress on, it's very handy for cleaning stamps off. Right, give that another good. No, that looks better. Much better. Right, give that. And then what I want to do is, oh, hi Kenta, nice to have you here too. Thanks for coming along. Right, now I'm just going to tuck that away. Actually, I might do all those together. So we'll just keep that to one side, and I'll do all the stamping. Just clean that off. If you do clean them off a little bit on some card, or paper, then you don't get this so dirty. Don't look at that, I have got a bit. Sometimes you forget. Just making this last a bit longer. Right, so now I want to do the same ones but in Pool Party, on Pool Party. So give that a good cup. And this one, you can probably see that a bit better than the other one. Put that to one side, and I want, it's also got this lovely one here, which is this one here. So I'm not using those those ones, just the main one. So I'm going to do two of those in Pretty in Pink, on Pretty in Pink. Give those a good ink up and a good press down. Right, so those are my flowers, and then what I'm going to do, those out of the way so I don't end up dropping something on them. They've got these little centres, and what I'm going to want to do is emboss them in white. So that, the only problem is it's a little hard sometimes to actually get it in the right place. I'll give it a good go. I did try stamping them and embossing them first, and that did help. The only trouble is sometimes if you don't get a clear stamped image, then you've gone to the trouble of embossing for no reason. So sort of a bit catch-22 really. So the small one fits in the small flower, so it's just a matter of getting sort of right on top of it and stamping down. And then the same with this one. With the darker colours it is easier to sort of see where the edges are, but by the time you've got it on your card it doesn't matter too much, I don't think. So just get this there and put that to one side, and then do these ones here. So these are both the small one. You can see the ink through if you jig a little bit. Do the same on these ones. So you can just see from doing that, just getting that, just adds a bit of a dimension to it, doesn't it, with the white on it. This is just a bit harder. And put that on that end actually. Right. Get it out of the way. And put more white emboss powder. Just make sure it doesn't stick on the petals. It shouldn't. If it's had a few minutes to dry, it should be okay. Right, so I'll just heat emboss these. Won't be a sec. And I am going to give them a good flick with white ink later, so it won't matter. Did I enjoy? Yes, on stage was fabulous. It was really lots of fun, busy but fun. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to die cut these, so that's just a little bit of, takes a little bit of time, and I'll try not, I don't want to rush it because there's nothing worse, cut these apart, than going to all this trouble and then not die cutting them properly. So I will try not to, I have a tendency to rush these things. I just want to get it in the right place. I could have gone ahead and done some actually ahead of time, but it's good to see it in real time, especially if you are going to make it long. You can always watch it back later. Oh, that's okay. That one worked out okay. You can always, sometimes I've trimmed them off if they're sort of over to one side a bit more, but also if they're tucked underneath, you won't necessarily see that they've die cut a little bit unevenly. It's nice not to have to worry. So that's that one done. And it's just with a new set too, finding out where everything lines up. So this is quite easy because it has got that petal out the side, which is different shape, so it's always good if you can find it quite easily. Oh yay, and it gives a nice wee ridge near the edge, which I like too. It's certainly easier with the darker colours. And probably in the daylight, not as sort of starting to get a little bit darker outside. Might just be a sign of getting older, perhaps. Right, and then this one here, and that's got the 3 there, and this has got, you can see that here, or 2 little, yeah, little divot things, so it sits quite well just there. Not too bad. And the last one, and then I want to do some leaves too. As you can see, it is quite hard. It's probably hard for you to see too, is it, with this lemon lolly? I just felt it. The lemon lolly sort of worked a little bit. Just have to a little bit better than the, oh, I haven't got it in the right, that's why it wasn't, that's why it wasn't lining up. Sometimes do you ever do this? Go round and round. Doesn't seem to, I think this is, oh dear, I don't, it's not enough. Oh, I think that's right. Gosh, that was starting to think I had the wrong die. Does anyone else do that? That's why sometimes it is quite good to put a little mark on your stamp and on your die too, so you don't have that issue of going around in circles. So that, oh, that did work out all right, so that's good. And then just temporarily move that out. I'm going to do some of the leaves, and I did try to do some white onto these and it didn't really work. So what I'm just going to do is do 5 of these. I did this and then cut the other day. Not a very, didn't do a very, it was a bit patchy, isn't it? I'll have another go, spread it around a bit more. Less is more, because sometimes you end up with too much ink on your pad. So then I'm just going, this is the, got the veins in it, so I just want to pop that on top. I need to sort of get over that to line that up. And it is quite good going on that darker bit in the middle. It naturally does make it darker because you're getting another layer on top. Pretty easy to line up. I've managed to do all 5 of those pretty well, so that's a good thing. So I want to die cut those. And the good thing with this, I'm going to risk it, there are 2 of these same dies, which is good when there's something that you are probably going to want to cut multiples of. And get 2 done at a time. Just put those through. So oh, that does give a nice wet edge on it, which is good. And I always find with leaves, they look good when you do sort of have an odd number on something. Right. Yay, 1 more to go. So it's not really takes too long. I think that is the last of that, so that is done. Get that out of the way. No more die cutting. So now what I'm going to do is start putting it together. So simple, quite simple. So I want to get all these turned over. And because I like to tuck leaves and bits and pieces underneath, what I tend to do is put just one dimensional fairly near the center of the flowers, and these ones, because they're small, just half, so that I've got room to tuck things under. So I want to start with this pull party one, sort of up here, and this is quite a, you know, quite a smaller panel than that, so I've got room to go off the edge. And then these pink ones, I'm going to tuck those in so they sort of go across here. Just a matter of, I just don't want to see any of the card underneath. Just want to fill in those gaps. And sometimes it's just having a wee. Doesn't really matter. There's going to be the sentiment as well, actually, so I don't need to be too pedantic. And then in this really used that much, but it is quite pretty. And especially on the cardstock, doesn't it make a difference to sort of depth of colour you get when you add it on top of it instead of just white. So I'm just going to tuck this one sort of down here and this one up here. And then the leaves, I'm just going to put some halves on. So I'll just sort of cut those up there. I'll just pop them on the top piece. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to tuck them on there so that I can tuck them in. Backs off. And yeah, as I say, so 5. So I'm going to put one here going down that way. It's just really creating a little sort of floating bouquet, really. And then a couple up here. I'm always drawn to the floral stamp sets. I thought this was really pretty. I can't wait to use some of those other dies too. Have a wee play around. And then just this one here, tuck that in off here. Now what I want to do is I want to flick white on, but I don't want white on the background, but I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'll show you. I'm going to get it all ready and just mask it a little bit, so it's, because normally I would sort of set it down and leave it to dry, but so that I can get it all done in one hit while I'm showing you. Oh, thanks, Kenta. Yeah, they're pretty, aren't they, together? They're nice, sort of soft colours. And let's get that. I just like it to be nice and even, really, so it's not lumpy and bumpy. Right, that should probably be enough. Get all those off. So it would be fun doing this, you know, in you know, different colours like burgundies and purples, and yeah, endless choices really. Right, so I've got those all off. I've got, yes, looks like it. So I'm just going to get that on here, hopefully evenly. It is a little bit forgiving when you are using the same colour on the same colour. So what I'm going to do is bring this in here. I'm just going to bring some scraps, paper, and just tuck those in here. So that it won't go on the base. And I'll put the sentiment on. I like to do this before I do the sentiment, because sometimes when if you've got your sentiment, it can, you know, you get flicks of white on, say, a black sentiment, and then it distorts what you're saying. So it's I always think it's good not to do it before you get the sentiment. Yeah, it is, Nicole, isn't it? It's a really pretty set. And I think it's different. I can't remember having anything particularly similar to this before. So it's nice to have something a bit different. Just put a bit of water on there. I've used this so many times with the white, and I don't clean it. It's gunged up, but it does what I need it to do. So I'm just adding that. So that's a white pigment ink. And I'm just going to flick that on here. It needs to be quite runny to get going. Could do this with gold. It just ties in with the white centers, really. And you can flick it from here. You just got to be careful when you're doing that, because sometimes you can sort of end up with a bit of a line if you're not careful. So that's probably enough. I've got white everywhere. Right, and then, so I'll just take, so that way it's not on the base. This is for another day. So I'll just put that to one side, and I'm just going to do the sentiment. So I'm just going to use black memento, and it says "so very much." Hopefully they'll know what that means. I just didn't want to use the thanks, so I just wanted to keep it fairly simple. Oh, that's a bit blobby. I've gone a bit heavy that end. Let's try that again. Oh, that's better. So, and bring in my classic label punch that I will not part with. And everyone knows me. I don't have any, you know, only have so few retired things, and that is one of them. I'll give that to my kindy kids. They like to have little sentiments and things. Cut up and use. Trim those edges off. And so I want to put that onto here very carefully so I don't end up with white all over me. And straighten that up a bit. It's not very straight. So I want it to go either side of the twine, and I will sort of try and get that into submission and lie flat that way, but I'll do that in a minute. So I really need a really fine amount just either side of that twine, and probably a double layer because it's quite, I just want it to skim over the top of that. So I'm just going to trim off that really thin edge of those. I'm just thinking, yeah, two, so get another lot. It's that just that edge of the dimensionals. It's got a straight strip. Probably can't really see it, but you'll know what I mean if you get your dimensionals out, because one edge is sort of shaped, one end is triangles, and that one doesn't have. Oh yeah, along here it's where the funny shapes are. It's just a little bit of a. So I'll just cut that. 1, 2. Make sure they're all not too long. Just going to work out where that's going to go. Just get my tweezers. I always think they just help get things in place, a bit more precision. There. Just want to avoid touching the white as well. So check that should be right. Tuck this right up next to it, and hopefully just check that width is going to be okay. Yep, that works. Take those backing off. This is probably painful to watch, isn't it? And then take one side off that and layer that up over top, and then do the same with that other piece. Just that extra height just means it's going to clear the linen thread. I don't want the sentiment to be on here lumpy and bumpy. Just made that a little bit too long. Right, the proof is in the pudding. So I'll just make sure it's straight. That's a good thing with those lines too. Hopefully the lines on the plaid. Oh, hi Jane. Oh, you're writing your wish list. Yay, that's fun. Right, so now this is not doing what it should do. So what is a little wee thing I do is get a little bit of glue and just pop it on the back the little bit here. So just a really little bit on the back of that. Pop that down into there. Just hold it for a little bit. Just till it takes. Now if I wanted to move that, it would have stuck already. The fact that I don't want to move it and it won't stick is always the way, isn't it? And then even if I wanted to do that down, I'm not too worried about that one because that sort of can sort of, see now it has come off again. Sometimes I just don't want to mess up my paint. I think that should be all right. Fingers crossed. So now the last thing to do is add some of my favourites, the iridescent pearls. Can't live without these. And I just want to put, I think I just put 3 on, but actually I might put some extras on. And what I like to do is, so if I think there's too many in one place, you know, the dots or whatever, sometimes it's quite good just to pop them on over top. Hide a few. If you're like me, you've got a bit carried away. So I've put 3. I might put some extras. Put another one. Where else? 4, 5. I want to put 5 in. Keep the numbers even, 1 there. And that is my card. So pretty little floral arrangement. Let's trim that off a little bit. I like how this one curls and that one's straight. So I could try doing this. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it doesn't always go in the direction you want, but that's all right. And I'll just trim this a little bit shorter. So that's my card. So thanks very much for watching with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you make anything with this, let me know. I'm going to tag Martin and tell him I've been casing him. Yeah, last week it was Andrea, this week it's Martin. It's always nice to get some inspiration from some fellow stampers out there. So have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. So take care. Bye.